Hi guys, I'm here to tell you a little bit more about one of the art supplies I reviewed this summer. I am going to tell you a little bit more about the Sennelier Artist Grades watercolor paint. The thing is, when I reviewed it this summer, I wasn't too happy with it. It's quite expensive paint and I was so happy to get my hands on it. And then when I did try it out, I made a color chart, did some simple painting exercises with it, and I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. However, this box of paint remained on my desk, and for some reason I grabbed this paint and I made a very important discovery that led me to use this paint a lot. The thing is that this paint in single layers does not provide lush and vibrant colors like Old Holland does, not like the Schminky Horadam does, or even the White Nights paint. I mean, those are really, really strong paints. Winsor & Newton and Rembrandt paints also. This paint, the Sennelier, is always more like a glaze. It always remains a glaze. All the other paints I can apply almost like a gouache. I can make the paint so satiated, so thick, that it almost looks like gouache. And I use that technique a lot in my work. But the Sennelier paints just don't allow for that to happen. For some reason, it always looks like a glaze, a colored glaze. So I discarded it at first, but then I started working with it. And what happened was pages like these. This is a page with a lot of layers of paint. You don't necessarily see that in one go, but even here in the lighter areas, this is about 3-4 layers of paint. So this is even more layers of paint. And still the colors are vibrant and lush. And that is exactly what the Sennelier paint does. It layers beautifully, and it doesn't really have a sheen. It's not, shiny paint, but the colors are so vibrant, so much more vibrant than you can now see on video. I mean, look at my face. For some reason, I don't get this camera to do good and vibrant colors. But looking at this from this angle, this is so gorgeous. On my weblog, you can find a photograph of this with the lush colors that it really, really has. And that is what the Sennelier paint does. So it's quite simply wonderful to work with when you work with layers. And I work with layers a lot. There is one drawback to this paint. No, two actually. The first is it's not readily available to me. And that is a problem because what I have discovered is that, I don't know if you can see this pan here, the opera pink, but the opera pink, I am seriously close to hitting the bottom already. The thing is that you still do need to get the intensity of color that I have here on my page. You need you need to put quite some paint in your brush, so you have to really work to get the paint in your brush, which just results in the quick use of paint. So Old Holland, for example, is a brand that you typically use very, very little of. Just like the St. Petersburg White Nights paint, you would use very little of that paint because it's so rich in pigments. This paint, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the honey, but you really need to work it to get a lot of vibrant color on it. But I really do need to find a store that's going to help me restock this opera pink, because this color is a fabulous pink. I think so far it is the most beautiful pink that I have in my entire watercolor collection. The only drawback being you need a lot of it, so I'm going to have to order quite a few pans to get me going in this year. So that was some little extra information about the Sennelier. I thought I had to share it with you because my previous review didn't really do justice, because this paint really is an artist grade. It just requires a different way of working with it to get the full appreciation for it that it deserves. I hope you liked my review, and I'm going to see you again next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.